TV meteorologist from Rochester, New York, who lost his job after he viewed a racial slur online. One he insists was an unintentional slip of the tongue. Happened last Friday. I want you to listen now, and I want you to be the judge for yourself. Watch this. So when I looked out at Martin Luther King Jr. Park,
Koro? In my book here, it says something about the carvings telling individual stories. What's the story behind those ones?
Wamaimoko. The carvings on this Taiaha represents a story about whakapapa. It goes back when
Aotea is a young chief. He is in the bush looking for a suitable branch to make a Taiaha with. He chooses one and drags the branch away to dry. The wood has dried, and Aotea has shaped his rako into a Taiaha. He begins to carve designs from his own tamako onto the rako. While Aotea is working on carving his Taiaha, the other members of his whānau are eating a meal at the pā on the banks of Pūtikitiki, right beside the Waikato River. They talk about making a visit later in the week to go and see their close relatives just up at Opoia Pā. A week later, Aotea, his brother Pana, and other members of the pā go on a bird hunting trip to Te Papanui, nearby. It is the time of the muska wars, so they are cautious. The group are ambushed suddenly by a small warring party who are scouting the territory. Aotea is shot in the scuffle. The other members of Aotea's group run off terrified. Aotea's body is dragged away, never to be seen again. Aotea's brother Pana returns soon after to look for Aotea. He spies Aotea's Taiaha on the ground and realizes he won't ever see him again. He decides to return this precious Taiaha to his mother. Aotea and Pana's whānau are back at the pā at Pūtikitiki enjoying themselves. They are weaving, playing games and generally enjoying their carefree lives. Later in the day, Pana returns home. The news of Aotea's death begins to spread among the tribe. Pana hands Aotea's Taiaha to his mother. She wails and is completely distraught. After a week of mourning, Aotea's mother wraps Aotea's Taiaha in a whāriki and puts it aside for safekeeping. It is quite a few years later, and just before the break of dawn, a group of soldiers are travelling along the Waikato River. They arrive on their boat to invade the pā at Pūtikitiki. The settler government want to clear the pā sites along the riverside and claim the land for themselves. Pana and his extended whānau are sleeping at the time the soldiers arrive. They wake to shots being fired. The people at the pā are in a panic. Pana scrambles to find the Taiaha, their most precious taonga, to save it from being confiscated or burnt. The people at the pa are chased from their home. Some manage to escape, some are killed, and others are taken as prisoners. Pana manages to get away and places the Taiaha on the edge of the riverbank for safekeeping during the raid. Waikato taniwharo, he piko he taniwha, he piko he taniwha, he piko he taniwha. The Taiaha is swept into the Waikato River during heavy rain overnight. Legend tells us there are taniwha at every bend. The taniwha protect the Taiaha on its 75-year journey along the Waikato River. The Taiaha safely embeds itself finally into the soft mud flats at Ngaruawahia. Many years later, in 1915, during World War I, Machu, who was a descendant of Aotea, is at Gallipoli. He is a member of the Māori Battalion and C Company. The war is taking its toll on all the soldiers as they battle the enemy day in, day out. During one particular night, lying in the trenches, Machu has a dream about his ancestor Aotea. He sees his tupuna vividly and identifies his tamoko. He also sees a taiaha in the river. The next morning, he wakes and immediately writes a letter home to his whānau to tell them about the dream. And he draws a picture of the taiaha carving that he has seen and the tamoko on his ancestor's face which match. It is now 1956. Maya, a young girl, is playing at the riverside in Ngaruawahia with her dad and cousin when she feels something digging into her leg. She realizes the object has a spear-shaped end, so digs further to investigate. Her cousin helps her. What they discover is a taiaha. She calls for her father, Raihana. He studies the taiaha and recognizes the carving on it. He decides to take it to his friend Kana because the carving is very similar to one he has seen at his friend's home. Raihana returns the taiaha to his friend Kana, Aotea. Kana is excited to receive it. They chat for a while about the significance of the taiaha and Kana shares the family whakapapa with his visitors. Kana pulls out the letter that his father sent during the war and shares it with Raihana. Kana has the taiaha restored and gives the taiaha pride of place on the mantle above the fireplace, where it resides for many years in the family homestead.
And that's how I met your sweet nanny Maya. She was the young girl who found the taiaha back at Ngaruawahia years ago. Her father brought it back to your koro, my father. It once belonged to your tupuna Aotea who we get our family surname from. You were descended from a line of chiefs.